Drunk idiots.
Yeah. That will be me and you when I come to visit you in Florida.
Every night, my wife is going to be like, oh, God.
It's 2 a.m. It's time to go out and get some Subway.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Kimmel, that's your wife. She knows I love her.
What's going on? What is going on? What's happening here, everyone? Rob is out. Camel is in, and I am the captain now.
And Rob's about to get the best ratings for his show he's ever had. 7,000 views.
All right, this is like the de facto what is it? Comicsgate Jack's show.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of that because you were like, "What do you want to do? Just hang out?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And I was right before you went live. I was like, "Yeah, it's just Jack's of all trades at this point."
Mo says, "Who is Dath Bogantis?" Rob sent me the thing so I can take control of the channel, and I go in there and I see he's already set up a stream, and it was like Bancroft and Dath Bogantis, which is my alter ego, is Darth Bogantis. There's an R in it, Rob. And then he's got like the Nerdette and Ethan thing on the thumbnail. I'm like, what? He's like, but I don't know. Like that video has done quite well for me today. It'll probably make 1,000 views very quickly. And he's just like, oh, that did well. Like, because Rob doesn't make any thumbnails. He's like,
yeah.
So he just made that. I'm like, we're not. Are we going to talk about Ethan and Nerdette again? 3 days later.
The thing is, you keep talking about that shit, and then you look like the succubus person who's like, all of their content is just, this watershed nonsense. It's like, just get over it, bro.
I made that video yesterday, and I didn't put it out because Ethan streamed for like 15 hours yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That was an 11 and a half hour stream. I went to bed, woke up, and he was streaming, and I was like, I didn't get a notification that he started a new stream. And then I went back. I was like, oh my God, it's the same stream. I was like, what a crazy.
Yeah.
Committed.
Can I just shout out to D? Wow. Gifted 5 memberships. Hail D. Where's D here? See if I can find him down here. See if I can find a D here. Why can't I find him?
Bancroft always looking for that D.
I know, right? Welcome, Fallout Zone, Maidenhell, John Alexson, Darren Wagner, and the Repugnant Mama. You are all now members. I don't know what you get. I don't know what that means. I guess you can now use like the sad Rob, crying Rob emoji. Let's say hello to some people in the chat here because Rob would get angry at me if I didn't. I'll say to Perth Comics, Lethal Diva. We got Dale A in the house. Hail Mo Biggs, Captain Dath. Hey, you can't say anything, Mo. In the other day, someone was calling you Mr. Boggs, which I thought was
Mr. Boggs.
Funny. Mr. Boggs.
Like
sounds
Sidney
better.
Poitier. They call me Mr. Boggs.
We have Noran Rad. We have Micra. Oh, there's Camel Moon. Fancy that.
Love that guy.
Tombs in the house. Stephen Rockwood.
Yeah,
Resting serial killer face. Yeah.
I posited Ethan is going to start a stream in about 2 minutes from now. So that'll be very helpful.
We'll get down to like 5 viewers. And it'll be all good. It will be all good.
Great.
Hello, Lethal Diva, Athaline. I'll say later 7 and 9. Oh, great. It's like having 7 in the chat. And Jasper. Jasper will not be happy with this. He's like, what is this? Jasper, Rob is sick. So we're breaking format. I'm guessing Camel and I can still do a similar thing, but I'm not going to say, hey, Camel, imagine you're a fly, right? And you can go on any wall in the house, but only one room. What room would that be?
Oh my God. No, I
And then
expect
I'm like,
questions more to the tune of how would I put this? All right, so are we done with late books? How are we going to move Comicsgate forward if we keep having late books? And is this going to affect the uh how people perceive us in the future? Is this the end of Comicsgate?
yes, very hard hitting, definitely not vague, and never been. No one's ever touched those subjects before.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm expecting.
Rob says you can't replicate what I bring. That is true. That is true.
Replicate nothing. Zero times zero is zero, bro.
Well, I will ask you something though.
All right.
You are about to become a fulfilled CG creator.
I know. Can you believe it?
I'm guessing that's why you look so like nice tonight with the slick back hair.
Yeah.
Looking like Gordon Gecko. Have you got any there that you can show us off, or are you keeping that all?
Oh, I was gonna do it on the game show, and I was gonna do it.
Okay.
Give me a sec. No, I have him. I'm gonna
Okay.
just go get him.
Cool.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Apparently, Camel's been bagging and boarding like for a day now, so it'll be cool to check it out. You guys are going to be amazed, I think, when you see the quality of the comics that Camel's got here. Perth says, "You fulfill me, Camel." Oh, and he's not here to hear that. Stephen Rockwood says, "Rob, this is your best stream yet. Congrats." Thank you, Stephen. Jasper says, "This show breaks no new ground. It's exactly what I want to hear on 2 a.m. on a Wednesday." Yeah, I find it very relaxing as well, Stephen. When I just show up and Rob asks me questions and I look perplexed and then I just give him the best answer I can, and we see how it goes. But I don't know. I can't really play that role. GK1 says, "I think it's great that Camel Moon was able to create and fulfill a comic book all from a wheelchair. Good for him." Check out that avatar of Shane. He looks like a wax statue, a wax sumo version of Shane. Mo says the gatekeeping is actually worse without Rob. I'm not gatekeeping, Mo. What have I missed?
Okay, here we go.
Mo said, "Hold on a sec. I'm being accused of gatekeeping." Mo says, "Come on, Bogans. Hitting like on this stream is technically a lie. It's charity." Oh, it isn't technically a lie. It's charity. What else did you say, Mo? Hang on. What does Jason say? I don't get Jason in my streams anymore, so this is a rare treat. How many debates about Comicsgate that are just people being wrong about Ethan must we endure? They never debate about Comicsgate. That is so true. It's like, Ethan, you do this and I don't like that, and you said this that time, and and JDA says this, and it's like,
I just feel like if you're gonna do it right, start your show like someone's on your channel. You're gonna have like this debate. Like, I got all my gotcha moments. Fucking have your receipts ready. Have tabs. Be like, look, here. It's just like, 6 months ago you said something like this. Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand how these people think that that's enough. It's just like vague, broad accusations, and like, when someone tries to say something or describe or like explain what's happening, like, "Oh, you always do this." I'm like, that's not a debate. That's what 12-year-olds do when you catch them in a lie.
When you come into a debate and you're trying to argue against a group of people who didn't like how comics were going, so went off by themselves and decided they're going to do it on their own, and started building a network and a fan base of backers and promoters and everything, and they're just sort of doing their own thing. Like the only thing, like, I don't know how anyone could find anything wrong with that. The only thing I can see people getting a bug in their butt is every now and then someone will put out a video where we look at what other people are doing and laugh at it and call them idiots.
Mhm.
And I get it. Like, people don't want to be called idiots, but we think they're idiots. So, like, I mean, I guess
And I
that's
mean,
where you would have to debate.
but if your accusation is I don't like you, I think you're stupid because you think someone else is stupid. I mean, that's just the pot calling the kettle black. Like, you know better than what you think you're accusing me of. You're doing the same exact thing. Just shut the fuck up. It's insane. It's like
I would like to see you in a debate, Camel. It would just be so much. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! You're an idiot.
you're an idiot. Shut your stupid whore mouth, you dumb twat.
What does the mummy say? I forget.
The mummy?
Hey, ass fuck.
Oh, hey, ass fuck. No, but here's the thing, and this is why I think I'd be good in a debate. I wouldn't go into anything unless I already knew every single aspect that I was gonna, bring up, or
Yeah.
it's just like, why would you, if you're an attorney and you're someone is on death row, like I'm not gonna be like, well, it's fine. He does this, like he'd be like, no, you have to, you know him.
The best part of the debate was, which is, I mean, it was the culmination of 2 years now of late books, where she's like, I buy books from people who get their books out really quick. Don't you
Okay.
feel emasculated that it takes you so long to put out your books? And he just says, no.
Oh.
And she goes, well, all right then. I guess I have no problem with it then. If that's how you feel, then I don't have a problem with it. It's like, what? What? This is
Yeah,
your
like,
guys'
so
whole argument.
yeah, the entire impetus of your argument was, well, that's the thing too. Like, if someone ever accuses you of anything and you just say, but I agree with that. Like, I remember when I was in college, we had to do some assignment. It was like, this is way back. So like we had to build a flash player or something that, no people don't even use that shit anymore. And so I had developed a way to actually streamline the process. So I had to do as little work as possible. And I just like built all of these mechanisms so that it would create rollovers for me. Cause that was like the point of the assignment. You had to create a rollover. And I was like, well, that's a waste of time. I don't want to do that. So I'll just do it like this. And so at the end, the teacher's looking at it and, it looked fine. And everyone was like, oh, that's hilarious. That looks great. And my rollover, this is great. Like, it's like, so a true rollover, like you're supposed to change like an image, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Mine was when you just went over the image with your mouse, the guy's eyes blinked. It was the easiest rollover ever because it just required nothing. But I still had to do everything to lead up to it, right? It still had all the right, coding and everything. And so she was like, you just did this as easy as possible. You just found the easiest way to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm not going to be like trying to defend that. I was like, no, it's a stupid assignment.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah. And, and she hated that answer. There was nothing that she could say. I was just like, I wasn't defending it. I was like, yeah, I did it as easy as possible. And when you bring that to people's attention, man, they get nuts.
Yeah, they also were. She was kind of, I think, hoping that he would denounce JDA, and he's like, JDA has an opinion, and then she's like, well, what's your opinion? I don't want to say my opinion. It's complicated, and like, you're not owed my opinion on this very contentious topic. Anyway, Rob, Replicator, you can't argue with stupid. Also, coincidentally, no one argues with me. Rob's actually being funny in the chat. Mo points out, Mo says she should have pointed out the CG are total hypocrites. What was our biggest complaint about the SJW takeover of the mainstream? Late books. Yet some of our books are late. Double standard. Yeah, I mean, I've actually heard people say that though. That was our big thing. We were all about, we want books out. Like,
oh, what? Really? I wasn't even here when that was the thing.
Yeah, no, it never was that. But people also like retro. Actively
the retconning what CG was.
So like what CG was about and what we were saying.
Yeah, CG has always been about woke ideology. And now they're totally
Yeah.
against it. A bunch of assholes.
Pork Hunt says, I used to think debating was so much better with girls. These YouTube and Twitter femmes killed that for me. Is it because a lot of these girls are where they are because they're girls, and being a girl on YouTube is a rarity, and it propels you higher than you otherwise would have been on your merit? I'm not saying that's the case, but I mean, I wouldn't say it isn't the case.
I'll say this. I mean, just listening to that debate, the first thing that came to mind was this girl has not been laid in 10 years. I mean, just like the screeching, like, and not necessarily because of that personality, although that probably is a huge part of it, but it's like nobody would want to date that. And if they were dating that, they're the biggest beta cuck losing fucking, twat tard that's ever existed. It's just like,
it's usually the number one complaint you hear when someone brings up Nerdette is the voice.
yeah.
Dave says these debates are pointless anyway. Some people need CG to be all the labels they give so they can be heroes fighting dragons. The only point to them is you get a laugh, and some people make super chats. I think Ethan made a whole bunch of money off it afterwards, EFAPing it. I know JDA did. I'll probably make a couple of bucks out of it from ad revenue, but yeah, look, whatever. It's a little bit of a fun distraction. I didn't think anyone's.
It's a living.
Like, no one came into that. No one came into that and really just changed. Oh wow, this has really changed my mind on everything. Everyone's in the same position that they were last when they, at the start of it. Dimwitted Chicken says she got cackled.
Would you guys pay to see that? The camel Nerdette. We go 90 minutes. I'm gonna break YouTube.
Nerdette put out like 4 Depp and Amber Heard shorts right after the debate. That was an interesting point. So this is what I found out, that she puts up just like clips of, say, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I don't know if it's from the news. I don't know. I haven't watched any of them, but I've seen Jeremy from The Quartering do this. He'll put up a Joe Rogan clip. So you're watching a Joe Rogan clip for 50 seconds. No, for 50 seconds. And at the end, up pops Jeremy Hambley, a tiny little thing. And it's like, hi, I'm Jeremy Hambley, and I've got a show. I do videos 5 times a day. Subscribe. And that's it.
This ain't one of them.
Yeah, right. And I think that's how she got a lot of her views recently, millions and millions of views from just posting, stuff that people want to see, but it's got nothing to do with her. She's just
she's a succubus.
Posting them.
She's a leech.
I don't know.
She can't even post her own original content. Like, get the fuck out of here. And what are you, TMZ now? Are you gonna bring these guys to task? Like,
Jasper says 30-second shorts, no commentary. Yeah, it's a little weird to say I get more views than you, Ethan, and pat yourself on the back for that when it's just
no, you don't. No, Johnny Depp gets more views than you.
Yeah.
That's like saying that, like, NBC gets more views than you. It's I'm sorry, but like, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon does so much better than you. No, NBC is part of the whole thing. It's not like one individual.
Crusader says this is the best Rob show ever. Just the right amount of Rob. Mo says female debates on YouTube lose something. There's 0 chance of tensions rising to the point that a clothes-ripping catfight erupts. Not that I want to see Nerdette in such a debate. Yeah, definitely not. 7 says, I understand that I might not get a book when I click submit payment. I can live with late if I know what's going on. I think that's what most people are. And look, I mean, if you're going to go after Ethan for this, he's been pretty clear about this. His policy is, look, if you don't want to wait after you've paid, just wait until the book comes out on eBay. Everything he makes comes out on eBay. You can buy it then and there. He'll get shipped out the next day. You might miss out on some other things, some stretch goals or whatever. But I mean, that's what happens. And yeah, like if you don't want to run the risk of waiting a long time, don't back during the crowdfunding period. That's for him. Other people are like, no, I'm going to get like a majority of my book done and get it out on, get it out early and on time and whatever. Everyone's doing it their own way. This is why none of this is an attack on Comicsgate. There's loads of people who are getting their books out on time and early or whatever. So it's not. Yeah, anyway.
Let me ask a question.
Anyway, let me get this here first from Pork Hunt. I should have said masturbates. Thank you, Pork.
Slightly different
for the $2. Rob, thanks you. Mm-hmm.
So this is
what's your question?
This is a Rob-esque topic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You guys saw it because I don't hear about it as much now. Could just be because I'm so high up in the tower, I don't pay attention. That's totally possible. Yep. But you guys tell me what you think. Are stretch goals dead? And I bring it up because I don't hear about them like I used to hear about them. And when I do hear about them, I'm not as impressed as I used to be.
But is that you?
Well, that's what I prefaced by saying. Is that me? Yeah. Because I just feel like when I see them, I'm like, either I'm not as impressed or I'm like, yeah, okay, that seems maybe par for the course. But I also don't feel like, I feel like a couple years ago, it was a big deal. It would be like, hey, we need to get to $30,000 so we can unlock this. Or now this is going to be available. I don't think I've seen that to the same degree. Junk 666 says the budgets have been figured out. Yeah, so I'm wondering if people are kind of like doing away with it or they're not emphasizing it as much because they don't need to.
Or I see it a fair amount, but I'm paying pretty close attention. Mo says, I really want Aquila to hit that color stretch goal. Shanth just entered the chat. I'm pretty sure he has a stretch goal that he's looking to get to, which is to hire Eric Weathers. But then there's also sentiments like this from Tomb. Yay, another bookmark.
Well, I think too that like for some guys, it's almost like we're gonna roll the stretch goal in, but it's almost kind of a red herring, or not a red herring, but it's not like for example, if I was to say Boots and Heels is coming out at $20,000, we're gonna make the book color, but realistically, I was gonna make the book color no matter what. Mm-hmm. So then it's just like it almost kind of suggests that we're gonna, if we do this, then you get that thing, but we were gonna get that anyway. So
yeah, I guess I kind of did a couple of them. I did I'll add 4 pages at, I don't know, 20,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
I was gonna add them anyway.
Yeah,
like I wanted them in the story, so they were coming in. But I just I used it as a way to sort of help promote the book during that time period. So I guess there's like good stretch goals and not so good stretch goals. People are probably a bit bored of some. I'm really digging the trading cards lately, and I never liked them before, but now I do because I've got a collection going. You can't really actually, let me just hold on one sec here.
No, I agree too, because I think I'm going to start doing trading cards for Boots and Heels.
Yeah. I think I want to do it for Lucen as well. I just got to figure out the process. Check this out. I hope I don't drop it. These are all my Comicsgate trading cards, and I put them all in mine.
These are mine, and I don't even really collect them. I mean, I just get them.
Yeah, that's what I had. I mean, I had them sitting in boxes and stuff. I've got a whole bunch of. I've got so many Cyber Frogs.
Yeah, I have a lot. I don't have them in plastic.
So many Graveyard Shifts. I mean, it's awesome. I really I like having this collection. I want to see it grow. It's not because I want to do anything with them. I just like having them. So yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, it's marketing. It's a way to get people to look at your campaign again. Let me see what the chat's saying here. D says, I like the goals, but it's a nice bonus on the book I wanted. Mo says it's only twice as many viewers as the biggest ever Rob solo stream. Pathetic. Phil came for Rob and got Camel, so he's happy, I presume.
I would be
says
happy.
Painted Death has a stretch goal to hire Eric Weathers at 3 million. Yes. Richard says stretch goals were used to keep the campaign moving, build a customer base. But once people got their third or fourth campaign, it was, you guys know what you will get. Well,
I think I agree with that.
Okay, well, let's look at the recent biggest stretch goal that kicked off at 200,000. Ethan made all the covers on his second chance campaign Chromium. Like, was that always going to happen? Was he always going to get 200,000, or did that help him get there?
Well, like, I have them all here. Actually, you asked me to bring them up, like all the books.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah. They're all hollow foil. And at one point, it was, I don't remember if it was a stretch goal. It was like I think it was just like an, imaginary goal. Like, if we get to 50,000, what am I going to do? And I hadn't planned it, but I was like, it was a small amount for me, and it was a big improvement for everyone's product. So I was like, so that was cool to do that. But it wasn't a stretch goal in the sense that people knew it was coming. And it was almost like a gift, so there's a slight difference there. But if I was to say, okay, for Boots and Heels at $30,000, everything goes hollow foil. That's definitely something I can consider. Like, is that enough?
I was very happy that the second chance campaign, those Roquefort covers will be Chromium, because that's going to look awesome. And I got those covers. So
I guess the other question is it incentivizing people enough? Or is it better to just offer new stuff mid-campaign as a practice versus, telling them that they're going to, like, because there's a slight difference, right? Because one thing is a stretch goal is usually for free, right? I eat the cost of that. Or if I want to keep the campaign going at 30 days or so, I introduce 2-3 new tiers. Like, maybe that's a better practice.
Richard says it's not that stretch goals don't exist anymore, they're just not as impactful or relevant. I think it's more like, it's like the quality of the stretch goal. Just maybe adding a bookmark in week 7 is not having the impact that it once did, because the people are like, I've already got a ton of bookmarks. 7 and 9 was like, I don't know what to do with all these things. I collect the boxes that people send their books in now, and everything goes in there. If it's not a trading card, if it's a print, whatever, a patch, whatever it is, I'm putting it in there. Because I'm not really going to wear the pins. If it's a magnet, I'll put it on the fridge. There you go. That's different. Pet says, I have enough variants. Mo says, Bancroft was excited to convince Rod to make him a stretch goal. Oh my God. Ooh. GK1 says, mail and stretch goals are all book quality related. I myself like the knickknacks, the trading cards and stuff.
Oh, I'm not saying that. Like, I like all this stuff. I'm not saying that that's the case at all. I'm not saying that bookmarks are bad or anything like that.
Mo says, if you add something mid-campaign, you're going to lose George. Well, that's only, I think you're only going to lose people who don't like that if you're making them pay for shipping twice. You don't have to do that. You can add them as secret perks for existing backers, and they can get it without having to pay shipping, and they just adding to their campaign.
Yeah.
Hang on. Jess was saying I missed his. I missed your what? Hold on, let me scroll back up here. I'm looking for a comment from Jasper. I see your guys' super chats, by the way. I just thought we would just finish this topic before we get to them. I can't see anything else, Jasper. All right. What? 7? Oh my God. Rob is better than Camel is better than Michael.
Someone's on coke.
Unbelievable.
Someone's on a lot of smack.
That is, no one ever thought that. And all right, I'm going to get to these super chats. Pork Hunt says,
Ooh.
Do many backers locate Comicsgate Indiegogo projects independent of YouTube? If so, perhaps a link on the campaign page to channels so those backers can learn how much CGers like EVS actually do for wider CG. Perhaps a link on the campaign. Thank you for the super chat, Pork. We don't know, but we're finding out. I was speaking to Luke Stone today. He's got a campaign on his own website. He says it's slow. It is a second chance campaign, so it's that has to come into consideration. But Brian is about to do it as well. So these are two guys with, I guess, similar reach in that they don't have their own big promotional machine behind them with a YouTube channel. They have channels, they have access to channels, but they're not very big. So it'll be interesting to see because Indiegogo will say you get 50% or 40% of your traffic just from Indiegogo browsers because you're on Indiegogo. And that's been the number one reason why a lot of people don't want to leave these platforms, because they don't want to lose those casual backers, which are equivalent to walk-bys if you're on, say, in a shopping strip.
Yeah, sure.
Foot traffic. And then the rest would come from promoting guys like EVS, especially. The backers, do the backers need to learn how much comic skaters like EVS actually do for wider CG? I mean, I think most people know that. And if they don't know that and they forget it, which they occasionally do, people occasionally forget that. And then they sort of like want to distance themselves from Ethan's sphere of influence. We've seen how that sort of played out on on their sales or their future sales going forward. It's an interesting question. It's like stay tuned. We're finding out. We just don't know. I don't trust the Indiegogo insights really at all, because we've looked at each other's all together and there's too many weird similarities that we're like, this doesn't sound right. But at the same time, does that make me think, I can just forgo crowdfunding platform sites altogether and do a Eric July?
Well, I know
I don't think I'm
that
big enough for that.
Hail Salad we got backers through Indiegogo that have no idea what the cartoon was, because I would get comments in there just like, we haven't heard an update, and I was like, well, I mean I updated almost every week on Camel Nights or whatever, and they were like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't watch your shows. I don't know you have a YouTube. So I'm just like, okay, so clearly you found this by some other means. It wasn't YouTube. So there's definitely an audience out there that is new or exclusive, to the platform of Indiegogo, I think.
Yeah, like,
I don't know how big it is.
It's like unpicking it and finding out exactly where everyone came from, short of contacting every single backer, which maybe someone should do. And see if they can get a pretty decent survey response back. We're just sort of operating blind on this. Indiegogo doesn't have a projects we love thing. They do have a like highlighted project, which means you'll like appear higher in their promotion things, but I don't know how many people are actually paying attention to that stuff. But I hear it does very well for people on Kickstarter. Okay, another one from Pork Hunt for 5. Oh, hang on. Richard says, Indiegogo customer, I don't know who you are or what you do. Just give me your colorful picture book. A lot of people are like that. Mo, it feels there's been an injustice served. What's that? A gate kept his box comment. Let me go and find it. We need box stretch goals. Every cock deserves a nice box. Isn't that a dice joke? What's the definition of a vagina? The box of penis comes in. Oh,
I don't think I've ever heard that.
It's from his movie.
Oh, really?
Pork Hunt. If EVS and channels like yours only worked on your books with some videos, other CGs would not be promoted and be getting their numbers. All right. So like if no one else was promoting anyone else, yeah, that would be a disaster for a lot of people. That's, I mean, yeah, that's like a part of the whole part of the network. I see what you're saying there. I mean, look, yeah, without the sort of the network, the promotional network, the bumps that Ethan brings, and John and myself and Shane and Camel to a much lesser extent, although he's figuring out that his method actually is quite successful.
What are you,
the shaming method?
How do you wake up this morning sucking?
But no, I think that's right. I have no plans of slowing down promotion. I enjoy doing it. It's like I like doing it. I like meeting the people. I like seeing the books. I like staying appraised of everything. It's content for my channel that's always sort of new. Get to show off cool stuff. It's good.
Would you say that you do it for you, the people?
Well, it's like, it's a sort of a transaction. I mean, I don't ask anything for it, but it's like it is a bit of a quid pro quo. So I reached out to Piper and Luke and Dillard yesterday and said, hey, do you guys want to come on for half an hour to promote your comic that you have as a sign up? And they're obviously happy because they get to come onto a platform in front of a whole bunch of people and talk about their book. We had like 130 people in there. So it's good for them. And it's good for me because I get content that's new. I haven't shown off that book before. And I get to continue building my channel as a promotional hub.
Sure.
So it's like, win-win. And sometimes I get memberships and super chats from that. So I even get paid to do it. So yeah, it's like, it's all good. It's all good. Skip says, Rob not running the stream is ruining my Wednesday ritual. Rob usually tries to read my comments while Bancroft interrupts. I'm sorry, Skip. Just gonna have to deal tonight, unfortunately.
Well, and you guys are in for a treat on the game show because Rob won't be highlighting comments ever again.
Yeah, Camel has evaluated Rob's highlighting skills and found them.
I was like, we're good, bro. Thanks for trying.
It's like he's laser focused on the most insulting and irrelevant comments and puts them up.
Like, oh my god, thanks. We're good here. Thank you.
Seven nice wants to know if I can give him a wrench. I can't. I mean, if I had that power, I would give myself a wrench. You can't give wrenches through StreamYards, unfortunately.
Oh, I guess that's
all right, so you've got some books. You have some books you want to show off. Let's see them.
You asked for them, bro. Don't put that on me.
I know.
Yeah, that's fine. All right,
come on, Camel. You came on here to show off your books. Yeah.
I actually didn't. I came on here to talk shit about Rob.
I want to see him. I want to see him.
So this is the one that everyone. This was the highest seller. We have about 300 of these sold, and so that's that.
Did you sign them? Are your books signed?
No, I didn't even offer it. I don't think. I think I offered to sign a print, and so I still have to draw the prints, but that's it. If you got the Frega lunchbox, you got this one.
Very nice. I have no memory of what I got. I backed this campaign like 4 times, but
okay.
I can't.
If you got this was the I think it came with a bunch of the standees. So that was this one. And again, you know, they're actually great looking. They're like all hollow foil. You can kind of see it, but it looks much better in person.
Yeah.
If you got the day one, that was the Caesar salad perk, you got this cover. And the gold is foil.
Very nice. I like how they're all different.
Yeah, they're all just different enough, you know, to grab everyone's taste. This was one of the rarer ones. This was the Narwhal cover. And it has that cool...
Yeah, I don't think I got that one.
Yeah. You could really see the shards.
Yep.
Actually, I'll take this one out because this one,
it's got
on the back. Yeah, and the Fisher... Well, you can really see it better without the plastic. But the Fisher... Or the Fresher, sorry.
Fresher. The fisherman. The Kingfisher.
Look how fucking cool that looks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be having these guys do my boots and heels trading cards. So you're going to get all that cool hologram shit with those. Okay. And then this one is gorgeous. This is the this is the Prestige book that came out. This was I'll take.
Oh no, I got that one.
Yeah. And you can see the kind of
crazy.
It's reflective and it's hard to see, but it's actually like a glitter. So it's kind of, you know.
You can kind of make it out on the moon and in the and look at that.
And then
someone said earlier, I love how this is like CG time capsule.
How do you mean?
Like it's, you know, it's all, you know, it's got all these CG characters, people.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know,
and this is
you guys are going to love this book. I swear.
This is the rarest one. This was the Virgin cover and it has a, what they call a magma hollow foil. And that's a hard one to really see, but it's, yeah, I'll take it out. I'll take it out.
I don't know if I got that.
This one we only sold 20 of them. You see how it kind of like has that electric kind of glow.
Yep.
Yeah. This was the rarest one. Yeah. There's only 20 of these out.
Wow.
So
John Alexson says, I want Camel Knights merch.
That's coming. We're going to do Camel Knights merch in the Boots and Heels campaign. So I think what we're going to do is a lunchbox. It'll come with a t-shirt, sunglasses, a standee, and a sticker. And it'll all be in that lunchbox. So you're going to get the whole thing. They'll probably sell it for about $100. You'll get everything in there.
Sounds good.
There you go, guys.
Richard says, was the chromium worth it? This is not chromium. It's all foils, but similar.
I think it was worth it. You know, Mike asked me yesterday. He was like, how does it look? And I said to him, I was like, I can't believe this is my product. I can't believe this is a product that I put out. I was like, I'm looking at all of them. I'm like, if you would have told, you know, 14-year-old Will little Camel, like, hey, your book's going to look like this one day, I would have been like floored. And the fact that it's, you know, self-published, you know, that's a new development. That wasn't like, I could have never made those books even 5 years ago. So yeah, it's amazing looking.
Man, great stuff. Mo says, when Bancroft said, I got that one, it was an unintentional dead-on impression of Rosie O'Donnell in Riding the Bus with My Sister. That is an obscure reference. That sounds like something Camel would be aware of.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
movie
not.
I've never
You
seen.
know, I gotta bone up on my Rosie O'Donnell flicks.
I know, right? I
What's
know.
there's A League of Their Own.
League of Their Own. That's all I know.
And what's the one where she's like, is it called Stakeout? I think it's like she's on a stakeout. It's awful, and she's in like S&M gear.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's terrible. Emilio Estevez is in it. That's it. That's all I got.
KSS says done one. The Pokemon would have been blown away by those.
There's
books.
A lot of gay hollow foil. Yeah.
You guys are gonna love this. There's like Hamel's done this. It's like a map of the world that this is set in, but he's done it so that it looks like a like one of those play sets, you know, like a Castle Grayskull kind of fold out play set or something.
Yeah,
it's super cool. I can't wait to get it. And
it's very kid friendly. You know, like if you guys have kids, you can let your kids read it. I had a couple people ask today. They're like, "Oh, I want it." And I was like, "Well, you know, it's too late." But we will.
It's only open for like a year and a half.
We'll be opening. So during the Boots and Heels campaign, you can get a second print. It'll say on the inside it's a second print, in the add-ons. So it won't be its own tier. And then we're gonna do a second chance campaign officially either later this year or early next, where you'll be able to get like a nice like hollow foil, like a new cover, and it'll, you know, probably be a prestige format or something. And that will be, it'll come with the Blu-ray for the cartoon. So that's what's coming up.
Sumo says, Camel, I'll be honest, I wasn't a big backer of house salad, but I'll be all in on Boots and Heels.
Cool.
Why don't we're both drawing tonight. So
well, I actually happen to have
you on
my sneak peeks up. Here you go.
And you can sort of talk about Boots and Heels for a bit if you want while you draw or whatever.
Yeah. So here are, first of all, let me say we're only 5 emails away from 300. So yeah, we're getting there. We're moving up slow. These are the first, this is a 12-issue series. The first 3 issues are in the first phase of the campaign. There's an issue 0, which is this one right here on the right. This will also be in the campaign. It'll be its own tier, but we'll also make it a part of the 1 through 3. And if you sign up for the email, this cover here on the left is going to be exclusive to people who sign up for the email, and it's going to be in that magma hollow foil. So like you kind of saw what that looked like. That's what this is going to look like. It's going to be amazing. And that is going to, the only way to get that, this wraparound cover, is going to be able to get it through there. And that's about it. I don't want to go through the whole pitch again, but you know, I'll do it. You know what I'm thinking, Mike? Once I get my channel back.
We got to talk about that too.
I know. I want to do like a day stream that it's I do 45 minutes talking Boots and Heels and you do 45 minutes talking Loosen.
That sounds good.
And we can do all of we can, you know, I want to put new art up that people haven't seen yet. And the whole purpose really is just to get emails and get people excited for it. Because that's I think, you know, I don't see a lot of that. I think, you know, I see a lot of like, I'm going to go on someone's show and I'm going to talk for 15 minutes about my book, but like, you know, really have something devoted to it. And then when people are there, they know that's why they're there. Like, okay, we're going to talk about these books and, you know, hopefully get people excited for that stuff. And we can just do that on a Jack of all trades episode, you know, like that'll be the topic that week.
Rob says it sounds terrible unless I'm involved. You will not be involved, Rob.
Sorry, little Robert.
Sumo said, did he say day stream or gay stream? Why can't it be both?
Yeah.
General asks if you do your own colors, Camel, and thank you for the super chat. You're making Rob very happy tonight, guys. Thank you for your general. We get none of this.
I love doing my own colors. I because I really get to, get in there and make it look how I want it to look. You know, I have that kind of old school. It's like, you know, there's a little bit of a copper age look to it, but at the same time, I'm doing stuff that you can only do now by, you know,
Yeah.
working with the tints and the hue and that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. Like back in the day, you couldn't do any of that. So it's
Joe's
a
doing
melding.
something similar with his book, which is Bronze Age inspired, but
Uh-huh.
there's obviously things that you can do now with colors that they just couldn't even dream of. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you have to go all the way and go like
Right. Yeah.
full
Yeah.
on rendered and
Essentially,
yeah.
what I do to make the palette consistent is I have you know, like on Clip Studio, you have like a box, and so I have a boots and heels palette, and there's probably about 50 colors in there, and I will only use those colors. For Hail Salad, I think I had 20 colors. So for Hail Salad, it's just like when you look at that stuff, and actually the Hail Salad comic and the Hail Salad cartoon have two different palettes because they print different. So like
Yeah.
the comic is going to look slightly different than the cartoon because you know you want to have it look slightly different. And but once it's done, yeah, then you could start shifting the hues and stuff like that, and you really get a cool look because it shifts everything and not just, you know, one
Yeah.
orange or something like that.
Yeah. That's like color correction, tonal correction.
Yeah.
D heard me saying that we're getting nothing and Rob is getting everything, even though Rob is sitting on his ass not working tonight, and decided that that was a good time to gift 5 memberships to Rob. I don't know how many memberships that gets Rob up to, but thank you, D, very much, and welcome to Sheev,
It
Perth,
gets them up to
Justin.
5.
No, I'm a member. I'm already a member, so it's at least 6 minimum. Joe and Anti-Social Media are all now members. Thank you so much. Hail D. D is our patron. He is it's like if this was the Renaissance and we're like I'm Michelangelo, you're Leonardo. I guess that makes Rob
Michael, well,
Splinter. I didn't want to call him a Renaissance artist. But yeah, they all had patrons, you know,
yeah.
patrons.
Let's see here. So this is some of the interior art. This won't be till I think issue 5, so it's not anytime soon. But I'm going in and I'm redoing all the art to clean it up. So just so you have an idea, this is what it looked like. And this is what it is now.
I'm glad you're updating it.
Yeah, it really needs. And like you can just even here, this is a good example of like what it used to be. It was just trash.
Oh, you finished that? Yeah, I was hanging out with you when you were doing that with her hair. That's cool.
Yeah, it came out much better. And then I got this cool Kirby crackle thing going on in here. Well, there was nothing. And so, you know, I was able to put that in. It's definitely coming along.
I also like it's Kirby-esque having the stars in the black
in her
part
mask.
of her mask.
Yeah, yeah.
I said that's like very now I'm blanking on the friggin' dude's name. The Living
Eternity?
Tribunal?
Is it
that
Eternity?
Him? Oh, Eternity. Yeah, you're right. Eternity.
Yeah.
That's it. Not Living Tribunal. Yeah. No,
yeah.
very cool.
So we're let's see. Let's do an email refresh, everybody. Let's see how much people care. No one cares. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no one's cared about the Lucent in a while either. I've been sitting on 912 signups for a while. But
yeah.
I guess like what happens is it's like with a guy like say John Malin, for example, it gets increasingly harder to get more backers because you're just sort of pulling from the pool of existing people in CG. So you've got to find a way to get outside of that bubble and reach new people who are unaware of what's going on over here. So yeah, that's why like I'm pretty focused on the videos. They're bringing in tons of new people. And hopefully that'll continue to grow.
You also have to think about it in scale, right? So I'm at 295. So I would say hopefully by Friday, let's say for argument's sake, about 300. Well, 300 for a dude who hasn't actually even fulfilled his first campaign is, I think, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep,
so
definitely.
and once you fulfill, I would say that you're probably going to have a massive increase of people like, okay, now I trust whatever this, this guy is or whatever. Once they get that product in hand too, and they're like, oh, this is actually really good.
Mo says Splinter is wise. Rob would be that Zack kid in the later seasons of the cartoon who was annoying little turtle super fan, the Jar Jar of the cartoon.
He was the one who wore the trash can lid on his back as a turtle shell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And someone asked Mo about the gatekeeping. He says it hasn't been this bad since the first time after Leroy first gatekept me, and Bancroft followed his old pattern of copying Leroy's ideas. Oh no, these are all misunderstandings, Mo. Can you hear that rain? Just started pissing down.
Only because you mentioned it. Otherwise, not really.
All right, cool. Seven says, how do I convince my normal friends to buy $25 comic book from a stranger on the internet? Very, very good argument there.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
I'm toying with the idea of making my reprints cheaper than the originals, so the crowdfunded items.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like $20 instead of $25 for the second printing. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but that's what I'm sort of wondering.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's a good idea, if that's just like it's going to make more people buy it, or if it's just costing me money. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could make an argument that's what Zach did, right? Because he had the $1 for his Renaissance. What is it? What are those guys called? The bricklayers, or what the fuck are they called?
The jawbreakers.
Oh, yeah, the bricklayer. Yeah, bricklayer 4. Whatever.
Bricklayer 4. the mortaring.
Laying bricks for days and days. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he basically gave that away. The question is, are you making it cheaper to get more customers, or are you making it cheaper because you're not doing it for money, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, it's just rattling around in my head. I don't know if I'll go through with it. I mean, I don't know if I actually can. The printer that we go with now is quite expensive. I'm sure the prices aren't going down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might just have to wait until I've got more books put together, and then I can, put out collected editions where you just get sort of more bang for your buck. But yeah, look, I actually don't think $25 is an outrageous price for a graphic novel, especially if it's over 48 pages. That's sort of like, that's what we're used to paying here anyway. So like a floppy comic that you get at the comic book store is like $10 in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it something that people, you really want to, like, that's the question. It's like, are people more interested? I feel like this is total Rob conversation, but like, are people more interested in the books, or are they more interested in the creators selling the books?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because if it's the latter, then yeah, that's almost an impossible sell. But then you think about like Ripa. I mean, yeah, a lot of that clearly was because of his persona and how big he is. But then a lot of that also too could be just the fact that it's, maybe even hype. People are like, wow, this looks like it might be really great. I should get in on it now.
It's just, look, it's hard to know. I mean, you're kind of trying to take in what people are saying and what they want, and then you see what other people are doing, and maybe you're sort of hurting yourself. I don't know. Mo says the printer's prices won't start going down until Bancroft does. Bang for your buck. What? No. everything's going up. Cat spankers are $10. Yeah, and that's like $10 when they're new. If you've like missed out on something, you want to come a couple of months later, and they're like, you want to buy what was on the shelf a few months ago, they can sometimes be $15, $20.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk about why we didn't do a video game show tonight.
Let's not.
Without actually mentioning.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
the reason.
You know what? No, let's go into full detail. It's not my channel. It's not yours. Say whatever we need to. So, all right. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn the fan on. It's so hot in here.
It was like 5 minutes. I was getting ready. I was getting my cup of tea. I have my my controller charging. It's still charging.
So at like 11:30, I get an email from YouTube, and they're like, "Your content has been taken down in violation of our policies." And I'm like, "God, all right." So I go, and I actually. So here's the funny thing. I thought it was one of the clips that Sheila posted, because we just posted this new one of a baby falling out of a chair, which is kind of hilarious.
Great. Okay.
And I remember when she was getting ready to post it, and I was like, God, I don't want to be hit for child endangerment or whatever nonsense, you know? And she goes, well, you've already had it on your channel. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's fair. I was like, all right, whatever. So go ahead with it. Let's see what happens. And it's not really child endangerment. It's not like, you know, we're saying kick your baby out of a high chair or anything. And so no, it turns out that it was the last episode of Camel Knights. And when I went to look into it, they said that there was election misinformation. And I vaguely remember at one point during the show saying something to the effect of, and I got to find a way to phrase it here so this channel doesn't get hit, of some people think that there's the possibility that thing that happens in November, there was fraud.
Shenanigans,
yeah. And I didn't accuse any side. I didn't say specifically this person over that person or anything like that. Well, apparently that was enough for YouTube to say, yeah, you can't do that, and we're going to strike the channel. And so when I went to appeal it, is it used to be if you appeal it, you would get like a paragraph box, and you could like give reasons for your appeal. They've completely gotten rid of that. And now it's just, do you appeal it? Yes or no? And I said, yes. I'm not even joking. 5 minutes later, I got an email that said, well, we've reviewed your appeal, and we still find that you're in violations of terms and services, so your channel has been struck.
Wow.
So
that must be what the 87,000 IRS agents are doing if they're that quick. I mean, how else would they?
Yeah, I mean, it's so eventually
manually reviewed it.
When you are done with that, oh, that's a big movie. They say, you know, do you agree with the appeal? Like, if you have a problem, hit here. So I said, no, I don't agree with it. And then you get a box that says, like, well, how would you improve the process? I was like, I don't know. How about you listen to the fucking appeal? How about you actually tell me what I said? How about like we put some context in this? I mean, you vaguely mentioned something that could have been inappropriate by your terms and services in a 3-hour stream, but you don't tell me anything about where it is. Like, I'm inferring that's what happened because I can't think of anything else that did happen during that stream. So, yeah, I mean, the process is total bunk. It's not helpful. So it's anyway, I went to get the stream ready for the night, and they were like, nope, sorry, can't do it. Gonna have to do it next week.
Censorship. Look, here's the thing. We understand what YouTube is and what it's trying to do. It's trying to make money, advertising, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't want to get hauled before Congress or something like that.
But at
the same time, yeah. at the same time, it's like they're completely arbitrary. They're
Oh yeah,
completely one-sided. There's people out there doing and like making entire channels off this stuff that the little guys get struck down from. Yeah.
yeah. It's completely arbitrary. You're right, and it's like Tim Pool talks about it. It's just like Eric July. Like if you're a big enough channel, they won't strike you because you're bringing in so much money for them. But it's like that's even more bullshit.
Jason has it exactly right here. A bot has decided that questions about a free and open democratic process will not be tolerated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, it's really kind of scary, and it's like again, you're not talking to a person. There's no way you could be. You think of the millions of YouTube channels out there, so it's a waste. And also, again, if it's a bot process, then why have an appeals process? Why even offer it?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that in my life. Like, would you imagine if it was in court? You're like, all right, would you like to appeal? Yes, guilty. You'd be like, well, hold on, do I get to appeal or not? Like that doesn't even make any sense. Heel's got some big yams in this pick. I think I'm gonna have to slim her down a little bit here, make her waist a little bigger. That's better. So anyway,
John says until someone stops them. Yeah, people start talking about. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying on Joe's stream. It's just like there's no Elon Musk out there, and there can't be because I think Google is like $1 trillion company, so no one's buying it. And then it's just like so, literally, unless they get hauled before Congress, there's no repercussions or ramifications. There's nothing. It's just. And I think they need to because now I'm out of work for a week. It's just like so I'm not working now, like because I said something that was clearly interpretive and shouldn't even be. I didn't say anything specific. I didn't point any fingers. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely nuts. On top of, if you said anything in the opposition for 6 years when Trump was president and suggested that he stole it, oh, that's fine. You could say that. That's not an issue.
Yeah. No, that was the whole thing. It was 4 years of that, basically.
I mean, it's just like the hypocrisy is insane.
Seven's wondering how many people at YouTube actually review these things. I mean, I wouldn't imagine many. They'd be like, I think for the real. You did?
Yeah, the first strike we got, which was like back in November of last year, I appealed it and they let it go. But I'm convinced that it's just the bot saying, okay, it's the first one. We'll let it go.
I got struck once.
Don't believe it.
I got struck only one time. And the YouTube was happy to take it down as long as I got the person who made the strike to accept it or something like that. It was like it was the Stan Lee estate. It was actually Vicky. Well, I don't know if like Vicky was the one who was out there doing the rallying cry and everything to get the video taken down. And they reached out to the Stan Lee estate, and because we'd had an impersonation of Stan Lee on the channel, and yes, and so they were actually cool. Like the Lee estate were fine with it. They were like, oh no, we didn't want to get things struck or anything like that.
Yeah.
But even then it was just such a it was so hard to get on a hold of real people that I just ended up giving up. I could still stream even with the strike. I obviously couldn't be monetized or anything. So I just all right.
But imagine you a bigger channel though.
Yeah.
Imagine that
you're right. Imagine if it was your income.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, well, I guess I'm not getting $1,000 this week or what? Like it's nuts. It's like there's no other company in the world that even works like that. Like if you get written up at any corporation, right? I'm sure if you work in YouTube proper and you do something that's against their code of conduct, you're going to be dragged into HR, and they're going to say like, well, okay, you can't do this, because they can't just fire you. But it's like, why wouldn't you have those same terms and policies for the actual creators that keep the channel afloat? It's like, either you're running a company or you're not, or you're running a dictatorship. I'm kind of surprised that there aren't more people that are arguing about it, broadly. I mean, maybe there are, but I just wish it was a bigger issue. Because every
Rob
4
says,
months I got to go through this.
I saw a channel that got taken down with 2 million subs.
You see that?
Could you
I mean,
imagine?
that's nuts. No. I mean, I would kill myself. 2 million subs. I mean, and I've seen it. I've seen guys show up on Twitter in tears. Like, men in their 40s. It's just like, oh, you don't work here anymore. And you know what? That's the kind of shit that leads guys to go crazy. There was years ago, there was a woman who went into, I don't want to say, but she went into the building and she shot everyone. And it was totally, it was in the news for about 12 hours. And her argument was like, you canceled my channel and I'm not, that was how I made money. And she went nuts.
I
And it's
never
like, yeah,
heard of that.
Oh yeah, it was, again, it wasn't big news. It was a big story that got hushed up in about less
Not
than
big on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, I remember hearing about it. I remember seeing the headline, and then, it got pushed to the back of the internet. And then actually after a month, it was almost impossible for me to find it because they don't want you hearing about
God.
stuff. Yeah. That was like 2017, maybe 2018.
Eric remembers it. Junk remembers it. Yeah, D remembers it. That's funny. Maybe I did know about it and I just forgot it. I don't know. Because I usually do sort of stay abreast of a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, exactly. That's it. Like, that's your livelihood. You spend, I mean, the countless hours, especially on a channel like ours, where it's like countless hours of unpaid work just to get to the position where you can get paid.
Yeah.
And then you build that up to the point where you are making a living. And then YouTube's like, no, we don't like what you said here. You're out.
Yeah, sorry. It went against our terms and services that is about, 12,000 pages long. That's insane. And I'm telling you, if it keeps happening, there's someone who's going to go out there and they're going to go nuts. Because there's going to be one of these guys who has 2 million subs and he's bringing in whatever his income is, or it might even not even be that much. You figure you have 2 million subs, you're probably pulling in 60,000 a week or a month. All right. So you're probably pretty well off. You're going to be well off for a while. But let's say you have 200,000 and you're making $5,000. That's a real job. Right. And so now you're not making that. I mean, what, you get to start from scratch? No. I mean, that's, how hard that would be to get 200,000 subs again. It's going to be the middle of the road guys, the guys with channels as big as, Ripa's or Ethan's or Anna's. Those are the ones that are going to go nuts.
Mo says Rob spent years counting that channel subs before someone told him where to find the total.
Yeah, jerks.
He was counting them by hand. Ding, ding, ding.
He had an abacus. I'd start over.
Yeah, right. Someone asks here about Rumble. Where is it? Diversify your social media. Are you putting anything on Rumble and Odyssey?
So we have talked about it. I've created the Ivory Tower room on Twitter. There's me and Bancroft and a few others.
Thank you for putting me in another room, by the way. You know how much I love it.
I was thinking, I was like, we actually kind of need one because now we have like 3 shows going, and I was like, I might as well. But we were talking about that there, and so the issue is, and I think it's a good idea. I even know that for a while, I think War Campaign was doing it. Like they'd start on YouTube and then they'd move the show over to D Live. And I don't know if I'd want to go to D Live, but maybe Odyssey or Rumble. The problem is StreamYard is bought and paid for by, the top tech giants. So it's like you can only use StreamYard with Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and some other nothing I've never heard of. But it's like you can't use it for Rumble and you can't use it for Odyssey. So it's like now I'd have to find another streaming platform. And I know that like OBS doesn't work the same way. Like I don't think we can bring guests in. So that's an issue. And it's like unless StreamYard starts offering something past, but see, I don't think they're going to. I don't think StreamYard wants to.
Yeah, I simulcast to Twitch. It does nothing. I think I've gained like 70 followers or something over, I don't know, a year. I auto load onto Rumble and Odyssey. One of them has over 100 subscribers with a few regular watchers, but it's very hit and miss. I think the biggest views I got on anything was like 23 or something. So you've got to actually do what I suggested, which was do what like Salty does, where you simulcast to all of them somehow. I don't know. I don't know what locals is, Junk. I know that there are other options out there.
Perth says you can embed StreamYard within OBS. So that's interesting.
There you go.
I think I would be all right with that. If we did like an hour of Camel, like I would call it Camel Nights Light, and then we're going to do Camel Nights Hard or Camel Nights After Dark. And that's like where we actually get, and it might even be better because then we can do like the news topics. There's shit that's on the cutting room floor every week that I know I can't post, especially involving puppies.
The raunchy, like the red lights turn on.
Oh, yeah.
We turn our backlights
That'd
down.
be hilarious. Like, we really play it up. But like, there's stuff that, I want to post every week or talk about, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Most is camel filtered.
Oh, I like that. Camel filtered, and then camel. What's the opposite of in a cig when it's like?
I don't know.
And is it like no filters? I guess no filters, right?
I guess it's just camel and then camel filter. That's probably it. Mo says the last time Bancroft got put in another room, he almost walked in on someone playing with their cleat. That is a story for another day. Raw. Unfiltered.
Yeah, unfiltered. Yeah, that's not bad. Camel Nights Unfiltered. I also like the word hard. I like that. Just Camel Nights Hard. Just like, just going for it. Hardcore.
Michael says it's hard enough for you guys to create alternate comics. Now they make you develop alternate media to promote your alternate comics.
I know.
Alternative comics, yeah.
I'm in a precarious spot. This is not an issue that everyone has. A lot of people just want to talk about what's in the news, like on a very peripheral level, or that's not with what you're not supposed to talk about. But I would be doing Camel Knights a disservice and the brand itself by filtering it so much that it's unrecognizable, because then that's the beginning of the end. Every time,
the puppies thing is a one-off because it's like we don't expect it to be
forever
like that forever.
Yeah.
But if it's like everything becomes that, then it's like,
well, like the child endangerment thing. I actually think that still to this day was even more ridiculous. We showed clips on YouTube of kids playing on a playground that were on YouTube. Like, if it's such an
no. Every time you say that, it sounds even worse. They're not kids. They were full-grown men.
Oh, yeah.
Playing on kids' equipment. They were like in their 20s.
I was like, what child endangerment are you talking about?
Sumo says Camel Knights Triple X. Rob says Camel Raw Dogging.
No,
Of
Rob.
course, Rob has the worst suggestion of all. Mo says when life gets hard, Camel makes hard lemonade.
All right.
D says Replicator Law streams to YouTube and Odyssey. I wonder what he's using. I wonder if he's using StreamYard.
We got to look into that
because he gets some.
Oh, he does. So D, do you know when he's streaming on Odyssey?
He uses.
Are there people there?
He uses exclusives on locals.
What is that? And what is
speaking
that?
Another language.
Yeah.
We're like, I guess Gen X-y, you know? I don't know if we are Gen X, but we're Gen X-ish. We don't know.
I still think we're millennials, but the media has portrayed millennials as the iGen. So like every time they say like, look at these stupid millennials, they're talking about the generation below us. And I was like, no, that's not what a millennial is. A millennial is from like 82 and above. Or 82 and so like whatever that cutoff is before. But and like my wife technically is a millennial because I think it was from 82 to 92.
Anyway, 7 says I'm Gen GFY. I know what that means.
I don't know what GFY means.
Go F yourself.
Oh.
That's his whole shtick.
Oh.
Jasper says, Replicator is a good guy to talk about all this stuff. I don't know Replicator Law. I think he has a very big channel.
Yeah, his channel is massive.
Mo says, I think Bancroft is Gen X. Well, I definitely identify more with that generation than I do the millennials. Even though most of the time I'm lumped in with millennials. But it's like I'm always the very first year of it, if they count it like that.
Yeah, you should be Gen X, right? You're right at the end, so
yeah.
I don't know how we're friends. It's ridiculous.
Jason says it's people born after December of 1980. That's the thing. Like people are very adamant about when it is and when it starts, when it ends. Every article says something slightly different.
They're all slightly shifted.
Apparently, Nick is accessible. He responds to DMs and he's helpful. Maybe that's what we need to do. So, like, Nick, teach us the ways of YouTube.
Yeah, Dim-Witted Chicken says Sheila knows Replicator. I think she's a mod, but I don't know how much she knows him, but it's, I'll look into it.
Sheila's been holding out on us.
Not me. She works for free. She puts those clips up every other day. She's about to get a week off, though, because can't put anything up.
Sheila's in his chats. I can't remember the last time I watched a Replicator Law video.
Last time I watched one was he was doing the Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's probably it.
I was like kind of glued to that. I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. But like the whole Johnny Depp thing, I didn't care. I mean, I cared, but not enough to watch it live.
I watched the Johnny Depp funny cut down vids, with the
me too.
The Nintendo Wii music on it. Dun, 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 that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was like, where is that music from? I know that music. And then we had to, I was like, is that Wii music? EVS knows rackets. Yeah, those guys are like, and that's the funny thing about YouTube. All those guys went off and did like proper YouTube. They talked about really popular stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Ethan and your boy Zach just kept talking about comics. So like all these guys that weren't like massively huge back in the day now are pretty massive. Guys like Jeremy Hambley, their channel's huge. Replicator Law. All right, we've been on you long enough. We're switching up here, switching
totally
tack
fine.
to this super exciting back of a guy's head.
Now, I don't
gonna...
know a lot, but I think maybe the guy in green, you should put some skin tone on him, you know?
What are you talking about? That's his shirt, Camel.
No, the guy on the left. Like, he's all in green.
Oh, him. You
Yeah.
don't like it?
Yeah, I don't know.
They do a bit of something.
I like the pile of dead bodies, or what is that?
They're burnt. They've been...
Oh, okay. That's what I figured, yeah.
They've been char grilled, cooked at high temperature.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Perth Comics says a backseat coloring. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jasper says, how finished are the colors? This is actually, I haven't done a full, like, because usually I work in panels. I haven't done a page like this, because my plan is I'm going to do this page in the colors, and then I'm going to send the remaining pages from this scene to a flatter, and I'm going to try to see how far I can push them into setting up my file for them. Making my life easier. So it's sort of like we do go half and half on the colors. So yeah. Jasper, how finished are these colors? I literally just started them. So yeah, there you go. But yeah. This is the infamous well that we all remember fondly. Me drawing wells.
Your stones.
Yeah. You like the stones. Good.
I like your stones, Bancroft. Like your stones, and you got some nice wood there. All
right. Anton wants to know where Rob is. Rob is...
I was just going to read that.
Lazy.
Who's Rob? What's Rob?
Who is Rob? Yeah. Mo says too much green even for Bancroft. Well, when I flat, I have a base color. So I'm going to leave these characters on a different layer so that I can just click that layer. This is something that Kyle Ritter taught me to do. Keep these flats on a different layer so you can easily select them for later. That was a good idea. Flatting is the only thing where I advocate zooming in as close as possible.
Yeah, I guess. I zoom in on everything.
I don't. I have a hard cap on drawing. It's like 50% almost always, and if it's like a face or something that you really need to get like the slightest wrong direction of, say, the tip of a mouth can make the difference between it working and not working. I'll go into like 66%, but no further than that. Otherwise, there's just no.
I dig your inks there. It has like a Nolan kind of look to it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, like up here by the crease of his pants. Oh, I'm using my mouse. It doesn't mean anything. That's good. That's like pro level, right? Because you're like, I'm just going to use these quick strokes to define the shadow. Whereas a lesser artist would render that out. And it's like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was doing previously. But I got sent a whole bunch of cool samples from Dan Frager from a master inker. The guy, like one of the guys that, invented comic book drawing back in the day.
Only thing I would suggest, is just me, is I think the shadow should be on the other side of the foot. It looks crooked. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not going to fix that. It's this.
No, it's oh my god, it's so small. Yeah, so it doesn't make a difference.
It's so small.
Yeah.
All right, hang on one sec. What are people saying here? Michael's style is very clean, but not antiseptic. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you, Seven. People are posting links to Boots and Heels. Guys, do sign up to Boots and Heels. Trying to get Camel up to 300.
Do a drum roll. We're at 295 and 295. Come on, Jasper, Plan 9. I know you haven't signed up.
Sign up to Painted Death, trying to get up to 1,000. That will be cool. There's a Nurkish joke in that first panel. So I'm like, oh, I can't remember the Nurkish lore. That is stretching the old memory. Most says leave it mostly as is, just add a couple of hot pink blotches at random. Worked for $4.99. Ouch.
No comment. I will not shit on other CGO's art. Thank you.
Antoine says colorists use their flats in the same way you use masks to select distinct elements. Yeah, I use both. I'm just sort of adding kind of as many as I can. Jasper agrees with you. I don't know what? I don't know. I left
maybe
it too
about
late.
The inking I was telling you about.
Maybe. Bancroft loves doing quick strokes over Rod, says. I don't have Alien Alamo, Jasper. I would have loved to get Alien Alamo. I would have loved to get all of Graham's crowdfunds, but he's one of those guys who has he has no leeway on the shipping. It's like $35 on a $25 book. It's too much for me. What else we got here?
You know, it's a shame Rob isn't here tonight, or we couldn't do a show, because I have a major action figure city update.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry, Rob. You'll have to wait. You have to wait till next week.
He apparently got sick because of his kid. Likely excuse.
I hear that all the time.
Excuse. Yeah.
I love this. Jasper Plant 9 says, I'm getting bullied. I'm sorry, I'm getting guilted into getting spam for a project that will be promoted on most streams that I watch.
That's how it works.
Yeah, welcome to Comicsgate, bro. Yes, but no, because if you sign up, you get that email to that dope ass cover in magma holofoil. Magma.
That is true. Yeah, you
like
get
magma.
Liquid hot magma.
Oh, you do it really good. I'm just glad I'll get the book out before Cecil. You know, that was my own personal.
That's crazy. It's funny. Although Cecil was on the stream the other day saying, you know, it was all close. We've heard that before, Cecil.
I've heard people making bets in the chat of different, like, who's going to get it out first. Is it going to be Camel or Cecil? So I guess we'll see. Although I'm annoyed because, like, so I lined everything up that I have. Like, we have these two tables, and I put all the stickers and all the books, and I was like, okay, so we have like a assembly line. And I realized that there was one sticker I never ordered, and I have to order it tomorrow. I hope they can get it here in a couple of days.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it was just, and I thought, like, by accident I threw it out, and then I started looking at all my receipts. I was like, oh shit, I never ordered it, because when I ordered the other stickers, that tier was only a week old. So I was like, well, I'll hold off on it to see how many sales we get, and then I just forgot. So. Yeah, kind of annoying. I
had to reorder some posters or something like that, but that was because we got more sales than we anticipated. You know, like I ordered 700 prints or something ridiculous when I had 400 sales or something. I thought, well, you know, that'll cover it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good problem to have. But prints are like super easy. Stickers might be a little bit, I don't know, it depends on what kind of stickers you're getting done.
I don't think it's that hard. I just think I'm just annoyed. I don't think it took more than a week to get them last time, but it's just like shit. I got a
Yeah,
week
you're
on 'em.
already. Yeah,
I mean, like there's not that many. It was the Witten sticker. It said "bootyful" on it. It had a narwhal like sniffing her butt.
I can't believe you've got a Witten sticker on your campaign.
Yeah, me neither, actually. And that, I mean, I can literally just wait to mail those till the end if I need to, but
yeah,
there wasn't a massive supply. You know, it wasn't like the Witten sticker sales
people
broke
weren't
records. Or...
falling over each other to buy Witten stickers.
You know, I kind of thought they would. We only had like, I don't know, 20 sales. I was like, all right, well, whatever, it's fine.
I can't believe it.
What does suck is like, you know, a lot of these have minimum orders. So some people might be getting free Witten stickers they didn't order because I'm gonna have them. So
Seven expects hail salad before cash grab. I think that's an accurate expectation there, Seven.
I think you guys can expect boots and heels before the cash grab.
This is what I'm saying here. His arms are too short, says KSS. And I had another guy on a comment say, it's supposed to be forced perspective, foreshortening. He's like forward like that. They're like this. I had another guy on a comment saying that the where are they seeing? No, you can't really see him in this page, but on another page you get to see the opposite perspective. And he was like, the buildings are too small for the size of the people. It's like,
so the way to fix that though, because I see what they're saying, if you totally black out his bicep, then it'll look more like that's behind, like it's in shadow.
I get you.
You know,
but
again, if it's that small,
I am no foreshortening expert. It's like, you know, it's a hard thing to do. I don't profess to get it right often, or even, you know, whatever. At the same time, I'm like, I have so many pages to draw, guys.
Yeah.
It's like, does it look like an arm? All right, that's what we're going with.
I like Michael Douche's comment. Your well sucks, Ethan. All right. Let me show you how to draw well.
Well, Ethan's old school. Ethan draws like with it in mind that it should all be understandable in black and white. I don't really have that approach. So it's like, I'm going to add contrast in the colors because I'm the colorist, you know, but Ethan's the inker.
Sure.
So, I didn't get a pant color. He's just wearing like a onesuit. It's like
I like that. He's like a Ghostbuster.
No, he's a yeah. he's a bushman. He's a crocodile hunter.
He looks just like who's that guy who died, who everyone liked?
Steve Irwin. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like Steve Irwin there.
To be like that.
Yeah.
No. He's supposed to have now here's the thing, like, where are the pants?
Do guys really wear that out there? They'll wear these like onesies if they're going out in the bush.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. We watched Crocodile Dundee the other day.
Yeah, you told me. You said your son liked it for the spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice light pants. Look at, there's a Banana Republic. $65.
I like to make the flatting a little lighter, and that's like put the shadows on.
I like this. KSS says the guy who died that everyone liked, Willard Scott. Could be anyone, really. I mean, Bowie.
It's Steve back from the dead. No, it's not Steve. Crikey, it's all a dream. See it, isn't it? All right. Pants. We got pants colors. Yeah, see the cool thing when you have it on its own layer, you just hit the select and it's already there.
Uh-huh. Man, you and I do coloring different. I'm gonna have to start doing it. I'm gonna do a color stream, I guess. I'm gonna have to when I do boots and heels.
Yeah, you're paint bucket man.
Click,
I've got some paint.
All right.
Look, here's some paint bucket.
See ya. Going to bed. I did 4 pages today. I know. It was a good day.
Camel Unplugged. This is I Atopissy. What is that name? Welcome. I haven't seen you in
pussy.
the
Thank you.
I know, right?
All right.
Great to see you here. This isn't out, it's not my channel, it's not Camel's channel. But obviously you know Camel. So
I ate your pussy. Have you signed up for Boots and Heels? Consider doing it. Dying Days of YouTube. Have you signed up for it? What are you doing? I'm going to refresh. You guys better have signed up for it. I'm going to find you.
Pork Hunt for $5. Although Steve Irwin was known as the crocodile hunter, he will always have a soft spot in his heart for stingrays. Oh, too soon, Pork.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
I know.
I mean, it's not, but it's, it's kind of good.
Oh, all right. I'll let that one pass. You paid for it.
What was that guy who died recent? He was he played Ra's al Ghul in the cartoon, and he was on Titanic. He's like a big character actor. I'm gonna look him up. I can't remember his name. Let's see here. David Warner.
So weird when you type.
David Warner. You know David Warner?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I'll hold on. Let me do it like this.
Billy Zane.
David Warner. He was like the bodyguard on Titanic, and he was in the Ninja Turtles movie, the second one. He was the professor who like created the ooze. Anyway, he died like a month ago, and under his RIP, I wrote "Cow a bummer." People were like, "That's really good, but it's too soon." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." Still a cow a bummer though. So what I'm gonna do here is I have Boots and Heels, and they're going through this time portal. So I'm just gonna like literally take this image and just move it down to the bottom. And then you get the idea that they've like gone through this vortex. And then I don't have to draw them again. Easy peasy.
I feel you. That's what drawing digital's all about.
You know what though? Like, people get shit for that, and I don't care. It's my book. I'll do what I want. But that's not a new practice. Like, back in the day, it would be pretty common if you were trying to do something where you were making that kind of transition or whatever. You would just go to the Xerox machine and you'd just, copy it and you'd
stat it.
Yeah, you just put it in there, and it's like, oh, I get it. I get what they're doing here. I get that he hasn't moved, or the conversation is going on, or whatever it is. And you wouldn't always see it, but sometimes it would be like, okay, now it's, I'm going to take the same image and reverse it and put it on a new page because I don't want to draw it. Well, no, that's different. There's no, that's just laziness.
There was a page that popped up, I don't know, on the internet of like, it's just a hand holding mobile phones. a mobile phone, and the difference is the text is different. Like that's the page.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. This is. It's still visual storytelling. You can't. There's a baseline.
I saw one that EVS posted, and it was from a Batman book, I think. And it's like, yeah, you keep seeing this person walking with their cell phone, and then the last 3 panels were all black, and I didn't quite understand. Like, I didn't read it.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, but why were they all black? Was it supposed to mean that like the phone went dead or something? I don't know. It was too small for me to read.
I wouldn't read it anyway. And then, of course, in like typical fashion, Ethan posted another one of someone who was laughing at Ethan, because he had a let's just bring it up. Why are we talking about it? Hold on a sec.
Let's get something to talk about.
Step Brothers. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. The panels were black, says Anton, to show the character died. Oh, did it? Oh, I guess. All right. So there it is. Yeah. So on the left is that the guy's walking, and then he gets hit by a car. I don't know.
Well, what does it say though? I mean, do you? It's hard to infer.
This is a screen grab of a tweet, so I can't zoom in. And then underneath that is just one of the X-Men. What is that, like Jubilee? I don't know. Just sitting in a cafe tweeting about how she got harassed on Twitter or something. And okay, so that was that. And then this guy here was where is it? This guy here's like, oh, look, comics gators hate people talking on the phone in comics. Like, that's his takeaway. That's what he thinks we're like arguing against. And it's like, look how shit this is, because they're talking on a phone, as if that's the argument.
Isn't it? That's what I was complaining about.
It's like this Sandman video that I did, right? It's got 20,000 views on it. So it's almost everyone who's watched it are obviously people who aren't subscribed to me.
Yeah, sure.
And they're all the people who are against it, they all say the same shit. They're just like, you can't stand to see gay people. Why are you so triggered to seeing gay people? I was like, mofos, you didn't watch the video. I'm saying, if this is supposed to be our world that we know, what are the odds that you're almost every single person you run into randomly out there in the course of your day is gay? It's very low, unless you're at a gay nightclub or something like that. It's very low that that's going to happen. So you're just like, that's weird. Why is that happening? Oh, I know why that's happening. Because the show has an agenda, and all of a sudden you're thinking about the showrunners and you're not thinking about the story. You're ripped out of the story. But their whole thing is, no, you're just a homophobe, and you can't handle gay people being in your show, and and you're losing your power, blah blah blah. It's like they just have this. They need to be a victim, and they purposely misunderstand things so that they can make a straw man to argue against.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? I mean, that's what all these conversations and arguments are. I've also noticed that for the most part, I mean, these are not people with jobs. These are not people that are contributing to society. I used to get in conversations with with people all the time when I was at the other website, and it was just like, you're just a loser. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, this is entertainment for you in between your shifts at Target and Starbucks. You're not. That's it. It's just like, you're a child. You're a moron. you know, this is all a big theater for you. And of course, you don't think that, you know, anything that anyone else is saying makes any sense, because then you'll have to own up to the fact that you're a 29-year-old loser working at fucking Target. Like, you know, like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, seize the day, carpe diem, do something with your life. Stop blaming society for, you know, your complete ineptitude. And that's why a lot of these guys too are like, you know, professional like, you know, movie reviewers or whatever. They're just like, that's not a job. It's not a job. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, you got so big, fuck out of here.
I got so big. I fuck out of here.
Xevious, this is a great page for real. 3 totally different camera angles, height, good stuff. I know. Look at the way I look at this now. Look at the folds in the clothes, because that's all I do. That's all I seem to do these days. This is good stuff. Antoine says, hey, Michael, that one person in regards to the representation, Antoine's been arguing with these people for a week now in my comment section. Hundreds and hundreds of comments on that video. It's fantastic. Now you know how it feels. Yeah, that's one of their arguments. You straights have had it your way for too long. Now we're gonna take it back, and you're gonna know what it's like as a gay person to watch a TV show and almost everyone is straight. It's like, that is not. So like, that's the other thing. It's like, so you're admitting there's an agenda.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're admitting that you've created this fanciful reality where instead of gay people being a minority, they're the super majority, and F you, because that's what we're going to do now. Well, at least you admit it. At least you admit it. So
did I tell you that story in a back room or live about the woman in the bakery? I told you that. When did I tell you that?
I can't. I think it was in a back room. I don't know, actually.
I can tell it again, but essentially what happened was, you know, a couple of years ago, there was a person on Facebook, and they were laughing at this guy who got kicked out of a bakery because he had a MAGA hat on. And I was like, all right, well, whatever, you know. And then they were like, well, you know, this is so typical. Now he knows what it feels like. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? And they said, you know, I guess a couple years ago, before that, even, that a bakery refused to work on a gay guy's cake or something. And so now they were under the gun, or, you know, they were like in the hot seat. And, you know, the MAGA people were getting their comeuppance. And I was just like, but you don't think it's a good idea. And they were like, correct. I was like, but you think it's a good idea here? And so then this girl says, well, the problem is for gay people like myself, we feel discriminated against, and goes into this whole, like, you know, explanation. And I was like, first of all, the fact that you're gay shouldn't have anything to do with anything. I don't, you know, that identifying yourself is now making this anecdotal. But are you saying it's okay to do it to them, but it's not okay to do it to you? But because it was done to you, now it's okay to do it to them in some type of revenge cycle? I was like, wouldn't the idea to be better than that and say that in spite of it happening to us, it shouldn't happen to other people? Blocked. That was it. They're like, no more conversation here. I was like, all right. God forbid you make a point.
The whole thing as well about that gay bakery thing was they were willing to sell cakes to gay people. It wasn't that. It was like they wanted custom work, which, if you think about it, it's like you're taking commissions. It's like, imagine you're an artist on Twitter, and like someone comes to you and wants you to make something that you just have a problem with. You're like, no, I don't really make that kind of art. I don't really draw that kind of thing. And I don't want to equate like gay marriage, that sort of stuff. But the principle stands.
What they
what if
wanted
someone
drawn.
what if someone comes to you and says, I want to see Batman in like in a furry suit getting bukkakied on by these like fat pregnant trans men, and you're just like, I don't really do that thing. I don't really do
Well,
that.
I
Right?
would say go get DC Comics. That's what they do every month.
And then so you're like, so then they go to you, oh, this guy is refusing to make inclusive artwork. He's a bigot. It's like, hang on. Like, you're more than welcome to come and buy my existing art, like my existing prints, but I'm not going to make this custom piece for you because it goes against my personal beliefs. Of course, but then it wasn't really I don't, that's not true, Antoine. That
I don't know what they wanted, though. I'd be interested to know what they actually wanted.
I say that can't be true, and then I think, well, we do live in clown world, so
Yeah.
I feel like I would have heard that before, Antoine. I feel like I would have heard that. D says businesses have always had a right of refusal. If one place will not do it, they'll find one that will. Well, that's what they did. They actually went around from bakery to bakery, looking for a bakery that wouldn't do it, so they could kick up a stink. That really did happen. It just says, well, who knows? I mean, yeah, they want a cake. You know, you get the two little figures on a cake.
Yeah.
They want one guy bent over or something. I don't know if that's the case.
Well, then they could easily like, so we don't do that here. And it's like, well, you're a bunch of bigots. No, I mean, we actually don't do that. We don't make cake stands, but
yeah, right. Jason says there were a couple of gay cakes. One was being asked to spend their morning catering at the wedding. If they explained at length, most people would agree you don't have to spend a day there. Yeah, I was trying to explain this to my daughter the other day, that if it involves forcing anyone else to do anything, it cannot be a right. So, for instance, it cannot be a human right that you have a house, right, because then that would force people to make houses for you. You cannot be a human right to have access to medical care, because then that forces people to do medical work on you. But I don't know. I mean, this sort of stuff, it's so poorly understood in the general population. Now people are like, oh, it's a human right to be on Twitter and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
which is funny. Like, that's what I think it was Tim Pool tricked Jack Dorsey into saying that, and then said, like, what about banning people? And he's like, I'll let my lawyer field that.
yeah.
Mo still here. He says Bancroft had the same trouble getting a cake to celebrate the anniversary of the feral pig. I need to end the feral bush pig story. Yeah, maybe I don't know if I want a cake about that. Seven says they went fishing for homophobic businesses. Yeah, homophobic, like, according to the way that they see it. D says this has been the most intelligent Rob stream ever. Well, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, everyone, please do make sure you are subscribed to Camel Moon. He's trying to get to 3,000 subs.
We're moving along.
Yeah.
We've gone up 25 subs rather in the last month.
Nice. Do you reckon it's the shorts?
It must be. Yeah. I mean, I also think we've bottomed out. I think, like, the amount of negative or, like, people unsubbing, I think that's kind of come to a halt.
Yeah. Yep. And also sub to my channel if you're not. Michael Bancroft, doing almost daily content now, videos, streams, shorts, all that sort of stuff. Building the channel up to launch this book right here. I don't know. I reckon the colors are finished. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that was great. I get everything. It's a nice green night.
Yeah.
That's typical. The greenhouse.
Except for this guy and his outline. That's his aura.
that's like that Arkham book, right? That DC launched the.
I don't know.
Oh God, I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's terrible.
Oh, I'm gonna close out the stream.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay. All
right. Yeah. Sign up to Boots and Heels. Sign up to Paint to Death, and also sign up to Replicator 4. But we're not going to shield that because Rob's sleeping through this one. Okay. That is it from us. What has Rob got? He's got nothing. He's got nothing for the countdown. So I guess I'll probably just play this again. I will see you later, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Bye.
Good night.